Welcome back, once again, adventurers, to Let's Play Robotics Notes Elite. In the last episode, despite 2 days of heavy rain, the weather finally cleared on today, Saturday, the day of the big first test of Gun Barrel Model 1, aka Gun Build 1, by the Robotics Research Club. And it was supposed to be a big moment for Akiho Tsunomiya especially, the culmination of 9 years of working on her sister's dreams and her projects. Unfortunately for Akiho and the group, the sponsor, Mr. Sumio himself, decided to pop the champagne cork a little bit early by calling a press conference for the actual testing itself. Yeah, before anyone could actually determine whether or not Gun Build 1 would function as hoped. And to its credit, Gun Build 1 didn't topple over during the demonstration, far from it. Fortunately for Kaito, who was pretty much had no choice but to pilot it after Juno and Michi bowed out, and which left Akiho volunteering, hence Kaito swallowing his pride and taking her place. No, the problem unfortunately lies in a very different area because because while the support on the legs was enough to keep the entire edifice from toppling over, luckily for Kaito, who was inside as the as the pilot in the cockpit. That unfortunately was its undoing because the weights in the legs designed to keep it from falling over when it moved also also was quite heavy, and as a result Gunbuild 1 could actually barely lift and move its legs. Pretty much, well, imagine it pretty much walking through molasses is probably the best visual description that I can give. And on top of that, like all the hand-me-down parts that the Robot Club were forced to use in lieu of state-of-the-art technology, Gunbuild 1 had, instead of a very powerful electric system, instead they've used a diesel engine, which pretty much burnt itself out during the demonstration. And as a result, the crowd was bored. Sumeru is most likely furious and livid at the fact that he has poured all of this money and resources into something that lacks impact, especially the kind of impact that he's looking for. But I think what it comes down to is that, in my personal opinion, even if everything went on well, even if Gunbuild 1 was able to move at a reasonable pace, hell, even if we had taken up Naitanuji's offer and built a proper version instead of the version that Misaki and Akiho built over the last decade. It might have been impressive at the time, but people would have gotten bored of it and stopped talking about it after a while. Yeah, that's unfortunately the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, we have to deal with the aftermath in the wake of our flawed and failed demonstration of Gun Build 1. The airport apron is empty, like the commotion during the day never happened, which, in all fairness, it never should have. The setting sun casts a long shadow over the robot. After taking 5 minutes to make its way about 3 meters, the robot now stands in silence. With the engine dead, it has to be disassembled and repaired before another test can be done. Akiho has been squatting in front of the robot for almost 3 hours now.
Aki-chan, もう帰ろうよ。
There's nothing more we can do today. And even if Doc could provide us with, even if he could provide us with the engine that could give us the power that we need to make Gunbuild 1 function, that's outside of the Robot Club president's financial resources. I'm tired of waiting, so I call out to her. She slowly stands up. But she's still looking at the robot.
ねえ、カイ。みんな、ガンツクワンのこと、見向きもしてくれなかったね。
No, I think they did look, and what they saw was a low-down representation of gun barrel. They just saw the aspirations of a high school student and laughed at it. Gone from her voice is the excitement and cheerfulness she had before the test.
うちさ、3日前からずっと妄想してたんだ。ガンツクワンが動き出した時に、みんながね、すごいすごいって笑顔になってくれるの。
One would marvel, as Kaito would, that it took her this long to come to this realization. And of course, it goes without saying that both Kaito and Misaki will be the first to say, along with Subaru as well, that they told Akiho so. But I think she needed to see it for herself. In that one way, this experience has been a positive thing for Akiho Tsunomiya.
小さな子たちは自分も乗ってみたいって言い出して、学校の例えば教頭先生なんかもロボ部のこと認めてくれる。
If only it went down that way.
きっとそんな風になるって思ってたんだ。
But they didn't.
でも全然そんなことなかったよ。
Unfortunately. Yeah, Kaito saw it coming, Subaru saw it coming, and even when she poured her heart and soul into making it happen to begin with, even Misaki Tsunomiya herself could eventually see the writing on the wall, could see that the energy that she put into making her hopes and dreams a reality would not pay off the way that she had intended.
みんなさっさと帰っちゃった。
After the robot's engine broke down, Akiho explained the situation to the audience, who then left immediately. The only people who stayed were those partying from the middle of the day. They didn't care about the robot.
悪いのはアキちゃんじゃなくて、テスト初日に人を集めた住吉でしょ。
Right on the money, Kaito. Not that we can do anything about it now.
一発目のテストでいきなり結果出せる人なんてプロでもそうそういないさ。
うん。そうかもしれないけど。
That's why they call it trial and error. You can't have success without failure.
お姉ちゃんならそれができたのかも。
I'd beg to differ. I really do.
うちいつもお姉ちゃんと比べられてきたからどうしてもそういう考え方しちゃうんだ。こういう結果が出るとね、やっぱり思っちゃうよ。うちが力不足だったせいじゃないかって。
Mizune was a prodigy who could do anything better than most. It can't be easy being her little sister. And yet, even with her talents, Misaki was still only ever able to acquire used parts instead of state-of-the-art equipment herself. I pressed the bottle of skull I brought against Akiho's cheek.
それ飲んで気持ちリセットしなよ。
リセット？
いつまでもくよくよしてるのはさ、アキちゃんらしくないってこと。
And yet, a bit of self-reflection is not a bad thing for Akiho.
元気一発でしょ。
I'm surprised you of all people recall that turn of phrase, Kaito.
うん。
Also, we should be fortunate that things didn't go so bad that Kaito ended up having another one of his attacks. But that's the least of our worries right now. Akiho obediently accepts the skull.
で、この先どうするかってのを考えるべきなわけよ。
I think that's what she's trying to do, Kaito.
スバル君が言ってたけど、万博出展のためにはさ、審査に通らなきゃいけないんでしょ。
I don't think it's the safety part that we needed to have concerned ourselves with.
選択肢は3つ。出展なんて諦めてロボ部の活動を終わらせるのか。
That's the plan that everyone wants to do, which would pretty much be Misaki's an admission of Misaki if she looked back and realized that everything that she tried to do was a pointless waste of time. And speaking of which we finally, Michi, of all people, reminisced about just why he was handpicked to help Misaki form the Robotics Club and be its first president to begin with. Even he admitted that he wasn't very good at it.
それはない。
あのロボを改良していくのか。
うん。
If only it were that simple.
それとも JAXA の支援を受けて2号機を作るのか。
Nai's not the type of person to turn down anybody in need. I think out of everyone, she's the one who would most have wanted Gun Barrel Model 1 to have actually succeeded on its launch. But I'm sure she's perfectly willing to extend an olive branch to help us build a new version. Unfortunately, Actually, now that I think about it, the time that it would take to actually get it completed might not be in time for the expo.
う、
Hmm. I think you're just going to have to bite the bullet and accept that Subaru was right all along when it came to the flaws of the Gunbuild 1.
アキちゃんが一番望むことって何なの？
一番望むこと。
これまではあのロボを完成させることだったけど、ロボは完成した。その出来はともかくね。
さらっと傷つくこと言わないでよ。
ここからどうしたいのか、自分の胸に問いかけてみなよ。今のこの状況で、アキちゃんが望むこと。どうしても達成したいこと。その一番は何？
It's a lot for Akiho to process there, Kaito. And I think we need to ask that question of Misaki more than anything. Unfortunately, we can't do that right now. Akiho quietly closes her eyes and thinks to herself. At last, she opens her mouth and speaks.
お姉ちゃんに認めてもらいたい。
Admirable goal, but if, yeah, for that unfortunate press conference, Although then again, since Sumio used his resources to try and get Gunbuild 1 into the papers, I'm sure he'll do everything he can in his power to now keep it out to avoid himself being labeled as an embarrassment.
そうじゃないの。
Not that that helps our situation,
うちは
mind you.
お姉ちゃんに追いつきたい。
Contrary as it might sound, you've actually, I believe you've actually taken your first step to catching up to Misaki. You've taken the same step she did. It just took you a little bit longer to get there. Akiho opens her eyes. I get the sense that this usual shine has returned to them.
追いつきたいんだ。
ブレてないね。
That's right, she saw. I'm relieved to hear the answer I expected. For a long, long time, Akiho has tried her best to catch up to Mizune, wanting to be praised by her, wanting her sister to truly see her, wanting to make her sister happy. All of that would be just an extra bonus if she could just catch up to Mizune.
でもうち一人の力じゃやっぱり空回りしちゃうし、全然ダメダメで。
だからさ、そのために仲間を使えばいいんじゃないの？
Again, you quoting Akiho from earlier isn't actually helping the situation.
仲間？
Or maybe it is.
使えそうな仲間が気がついたら揃ってきてるじゃない。
She's only ever had one. Well, friend, I don't know if useful would be the right word, but that person is you, Kaito. Of everyone who chose to support Akiho, you were it.
つい1ヶ月前まで俺とアキちゃんの2人しかいなかったのが嘘みたいだよ。まあ、人格的にはいろいろ問題ありそうな連中ばっかだけど、腕は確かだ。ミサネって壁が強大なら、その仲間と力を合わせて頑張ればいい。 一緒に頑張れば元気100倍、パワーも100倍とかって朝アキちゃんが自分で言ったんだよ。
No, that was Genki's catchphrase.
言ってないよ。
Hmm.
うちが言ったのは元気100倍っていうところだけで。
Don't sweat the deets. I think
少
you
なくとも
should.
日高スバルと古郡コナ、あの2年生2人は相当使えるはず。
Unfortunately, as you said, Kaito, you all have your issues. Subaru has to live with the shadow of his father's anger and disapproval. And as for Kona, aka Frau, well, she has her own things she needs to deal with.
ロボワンでそれは証明済みだからね。で、JAXA の支援まで得られるならさ。
And what about Juna, Kaito? What about her?
こんな恵まれた状況でうじうじしてる場合？自分の力不足を嘆く前に利用できるもの全部利用すべきじゃない？
こんにゃろ
Now you've done it, and I think you kind of deserve this one there, Kaito.
うわ、ちょっと。
It's been a while since she did that.
大事な話してるのにいきなり何するんだよ。
だって書いてば今までうちがどれだけ協力してって頼んでも手伝ってくれなかったじゃん。それなのに仲間と協力しろなんてどの口が言うのよ。
今日ロボを操縦してやったじゃないか。あのコックピットの中がどれだけ地獄だったと思ってるわけ？
それは感謝してるけど。
ああ、ちなみに俺はこれからも今まで通りのスタンスを貫くから。
I thought it is, Kaito, which is why your encouragement, well needed, is less than lacking.
どうしても俺に手伝ってもらいたかったらキルバラで勝負して勝つことだね。
やろ
だからやめろって。
Twice in a row. Yeah, you deserved both of those. I desperately escaped from Akiho's wild hands.
う。なんかうち猛烈にたぎってきた。夕日に向かって走り出したい気分だよ。
Well, she's starting to return back to normal. And just like that, the sad-looking girl who was crouching in front of Model 1 for 3 hours is gone.
本当に走ったりしないでよ。発作起きちゃうから。
カイがおるからいけないんでしょ。
励ましてあげてるんだよ、まったく。これまで何度もアキちゃんの背中を押してきてあげたからね。今回だってそれと同じさ。どうせアキちゃんは気づいてないかもしれないけど。
気づいてるよ。
そう？
気づいてるしすごく嬉しいけど言い方が気に食わない。偉そうにしすぎなの、カイは。
そりゃ悪かったね。でも気づいてるなら素直に背中を押されるべきだよ。前へ進み続けるのがアキちゃんだから。
押し付けないでよ。うちだって立ち止まりたい時くらいあるもん。
それが今なの？
違うけど。うおー、疾風怒涛の元気一発。
Yeah, it can be quite exhausting there, Akiho. One cannot be super hyped and emotional all the time. Akiho cries out, then sighs, displaying a truly extreme change of mood, then looks back at the robot.
ガンツクワン、寂しそうだね。
Unfortunately, as long as it's standing out there, Gunbuild 1 is exposed to the elements, and taking it apart is going to be quite time-consuming.
そう？
あの子にお友達を作ってあげたら喜ぶのかな。
かもね。
I'm not going to be insensitive and say robots don't have personalities. Even I can read the room on this one. I think back on how Akiho proudly explained that Japanese people see spirits and gods in ordinary objects.
あの子を万博に連れてってあげたかったな。
All to make Misaki proud. It's okay. Mizune is taking a good look at the finished gun barrel prototype Model 1 in all its ugly and lame glory. When she called me before, she said that she'd read every message we sent her. So I know for a fact that your feelings are reaching her, Akiho. But can we truly say that for certain, Kaito? Perhaps. And speaking of which... So she was watching the conference. Through the monitor is another world. Within the screen is an azure sky, unseen in Tokyo. But no matter how much I stretch my hand toward it, I can't reach it. The project that you and Michi began back in 2010. The image is displayed on my Pokecom. In it I see a sight that brings me back in time. I gaze at it absent-mindedly. At the center of the image, there's a large bipedal robot standing hunched over a lip. Gun-built project prototype Model 1. It's a crude design with no sense of power behind it. I designed it when I was in high school, and you did.
そう、完成させたのね。
The image was attached to a message that Aki and Kai sent me a few days ago. I've been so busy that I didn't have a chance to look at it until now. Indeed, since you have to deal with the fallout of the exoskeleton devices that have been occurring and their malfunctions over the past few days, weeks. Judging by Aki's text, she's really excited. I never thought it'd end up differing from gun barrels so much. High school me would be shocked. But that's what you get when you don't have access to state-of-the-art resources like you do now.
それは。
Hello again, Sawada. Yep. Welcome to the corporate, affluent world. No fun allowed. The sudden voice surprises me. Without my having noticed, my boss, Sawada, is standing behind me. He's looking down at my Pokemon with its cold eyes that make me think of a reptile of some kind.
お帰りでしたか、室長。声をかけていただければコーヒーの一杯でもお出ししましたが。
Not that it would have improved his mood any.
必要ない。忘れ物を取りに戻っただけだ。
How vaguely nondescript of you there, Sawada. Sawada is pushing me to explain the image on the screen. I return my eyes to the Pokemon.
た
I
だの
scoff.
ガラクタですよ。
A ghost from 9 years ago. It's actually a mystery how it ended up so ugly. Really, Misaki? Is it that much of a mystery to you? Now that you're here in Tokyo working for a big robotics corporation? It's completely different from what I designed. I sigh a little and turn off the screen, without any particularly strong feelings one way or the other. I thought as much. Oh well, good to know that my lack of surprise is warranted on that front. The next day, Akiho announces that we have the day off from club, so I have some free time on my hands. Free time to look at the fallout on Twippo. Attention Robotics Club members, today's club activities are off. For how long, I wonder? God damn it, Frau. Today I bought old BL Dojinshi like a madman. Sense of money totally destroyed, just followed my greed, felt too good. Damn, I naturally start to grin. LOLOL. God damn it. Yeah, chill out. Wise words from you there, Sister Centipede. Played around 2 hours. 26 wins, 1 loss. Not a bad day. I was so desperate to calm Uncle down that I forgot to eat. Dagnabbit, Mitchie. Failure leads to success. Boys grow up through making many mistakes until they become an adult. Keep your head up. Yeah, keep your head up, young man. The wings of opportunity are just ahead of you. I would like to say that's encouragement, but it also comes across as spiel to me. There's the newspaper article. Cho Tanegashima High Robotics Club giant robot didn't move. It did, just very, very slowly. Wow, this robot is ugly. Sorry, it made me laugh a little. Japan is peaceful. Lies. Absolute lies. Yeah. Can only mean one thing. Kill Ballad, of course. It really does feel great to play Kill Ballad under the blue sky. It's been almost 2 hours since I ate lunch at home and came here, back at the park. I'm feeling really fulfilled. It's been ages since I've been able to play KB without anything on my mind, and so it was that Kaito Yashio once again jinxed himself, because that's usually what happens in these situations. KB rocks. I gotten a little out of practice, but it didn't take long to get back into the flow of things. First, I input combos slowly so my muscle memory would set in. Then I input hundreds of combos at full speed, mistakes and all. It took about an hour to warm up. I then started putting my skills to the test online. I'm doing good. I take a breath and look around the park with IIUO. I spot Irie standing on the roof of the community center. It's been a while since we last spoke. What's she doing up there? I decide to take a break and check up on her. I come up near the tower. Never thought you would set foot near it ever again after retrieving the second Kimijima report, but I guess you are. When I look up at it standing there, I remember the whole typhoon incident and my knees shake a little. Ah, trauma.
Airi-chan.
I try calling to her. If someone saw me, they'd hear me yelling a girl's name to nobody. They'd probably think I was some weirdo until they looked at the Pokecom and saw otherwise.
Hi, Yashio-san.
You're not Irie. You're Sister Centipede. Irie jumps 2 stories down from the roof. Her landing is gentle, weightless even. Well, obviously. Upon closer inspection, she has a glowing icon on her forehead. Yeah, she was in the middle of a broadcast, Kaito. She must be in Sister Centipede mode. Wait, if she can switch at will, why did she make me tap her head every time? You'll have to ask her that, Kaito.
何やってんの？
実証実験経過を確認中です。
Those verification tests.
本日、見本標準時、西暦2019年8月11日は、実証実験ナンバー2946となります。
Test number 2946. Quite a lot of tests.
何その実験って。
That's an excellent question there, Kaito Yashio.
エギシステムを用いた実験です。
So basically she's sending that weird noise into space.
で、その音を宇宙に飛ばしてる目的については機密事項なわけね。
I recall her saying something along those lines when we first met. And her silence is proof of that.
これ毎日飛ばしてるの？
はい。
Indeed she does, without fail. She is an artificial intelligence after all. They're
なん
very
か成果は
punctual.
得られた？
はい。今まさに。
Results that she can't share with us, or maybe she can.
は？それってどういう…
There's a sound from the grass behind me. Uh-oh. The sound of something moving. Is it a snake? Maybe a stray cat? If it's a snake, it'd suck to get bitten. Are there snakes on Tanegashima Island? Maybe I should go up to the second floor instead of standing here and talking. Too late for that. Before I can finish that thought, I nonchalantly look up at the sky and spot something.
なんだあれ。
There's something that looks like a meteorite falling from the sky. But it doesn't seem to be falling very fast. Still, if that hit someone in the head, it could be fatal. With the blue sky as its backdrop, the meteorite gradually lowers in altitude. Yeah, it's falling. Eventually falling into the grass nearby. That could very well have been the source of the earlier sound, which means that there's no huge impact or shaking or anything. It just kind of falls with a tiny thud. I've never seen a meteorite fall so close. Since the crash site is nearby, I walk over without even thinking about it.
これは
It's a lot smaller than I thought. It's about the size of a pachinko ball, but with a very eerie design to it. The surface is black and it looks pretty hard. It's still giving off a red glow, probably from the frictional heat. Probably shouldn't touch it then, Kaito. Why did this fall? I wonder if Irie can even give us the answer to that question. I've lived on this island for 18 years, but this is the first time something like this has happened. Could it be related to the sound Sister Centipede sent up? I cautiously reach out to the meteorite. Yeah, physical contact is a bad thing in this situation. It discharged electricity. Taking a closer look, I notice it's not black so much as it's a rusted color. And its luminescence doesn't go away. Maybe it isn't because of the heat. Well, if it were actually hot, it would probably set the grass on fire, he thinks. It almost looks like it's blinking and pulsating from inside. Is that even possible?
これは一体
Curiously strange phenomena would be my answer.
モノポールです。
Huh?
Not to be confused with a monopoly, of course. Sister Centipede quietly says something.
何もう一回言ってくれる
はい、モノポールです。
ああ、モノポール
I think we need a better definition, a clarification, if you will.
ってなんだっけ
I had no way of knowing it was the name of a Nobel Prize-worthy particle that changed human science and tech forever. Until now, it seems. Curious. Phase 5. Onzosphere Actuator. Let's make a robot only we can build.
モノポールとは何かについてお答えします。
Achievement unlocked. Chapter 5. Onzosphere Actuator. Yata. I would love to let you explain what a monopole is, but that will have to wait until the next episode. So when we return, adventurers, we shall learn what this uniquely bizarre phenomenon is and how it relates to us on the island of Tanegashima. As always, until next we meet.